Like that. Like that.
Good evening. Oh, how are you? My mic is blocking the ghost. That's no good. So this evening we've got a very special guest joining us. It's Jamie. Do you know him? He's on Twitter. He's got quite a big following. He's earning very well from the internet. So it's going to be a very interesting talk, I think. I'll bring him on in a minute. But before that, let me just see who we got in. We got Sue. Let's say hello to Sue first, of course. Then who else we got? Hey Daniel, good to see you. Mark's in. Theo, how are you? Theo's got a great channel, by the way. You should go check his YouTube channels out. Marcus is here. Justin, you've run out of time to make a tea, I'm afraid. Phil is here. And Jill. And Fruitbag Cat. And Bradbury. Hassan, good to see you. Who else have we got? Helen is here, keeping an eye on you all. And Josh, good to see you, Josh. And anyone else? Oh, Justine, how are you? And Noel. And Craig in the cloud. I like your name. Oh, and Vivek at the bottom there. Good to see you all. So yeah, I've got a special guest tonight. It's Jamie. I'm going to bring him on 2 seconds. I published a video yesterday. It was yesterday, wasn't it? Yeah, yesterday. Go check it out. It's my complete story on how that one website, Best Roof Box, transformed my life and enabled me to move to Spain. It's like a little story. Someone's even said it was a bit like a documentary, which I was very pleased with that compliment. But yeah, if you haven't watched it, I'd love to know your thoughts on it. Go and check it out when you get a moment. Before we go any further, can you hear me okay? You know, I'm still figuring out the new setup here, but so far I like it. I like the lights. The lights are cool. Hey, Donna Marie. Hello, Fatah. 31 months of membership from Phil. The audio is good. So on that note, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a quick transition and we'll bring Jamie in. Okay. Hey, Jamie, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm good. Let me just check. Well, you're up as loud as I can go. I know you've been having a few technical difficulties. So where have you moved to? Because it looks like you're in some kind of attic.
This is my attic. Yeah, I'm literally
Or
I
loft,
moved
I
like
should say.
5 minutes away down the road, but I'm still unpacking everything. So I have two mics. Both of them are somewhere in the house in boxes. I didn't get to them in time. This is my fault. And my continuity camera on my iPhone is not working. So we're on bare bones technical stuff here. So I hope it's all right for everyone listening. But for any other future tech, I promise I will get myself together for the future.
Okay, well, we'll have to get you back on for that, but it's fine. There is maybe a slight delay between your voice and your mouth, but that's fine. We'll get over that. That could just be connections and things like that. You obviously got your broadband connected.
It's the fastest it's ever been. I'm used to live in an area where, because of like the wires being wrong, it was just like a snail's pace. This is like a new dawn for me. So I hope it isn't the connection
The
still.
wires being wrong, that classic excuse from BT or whatever. Wrong cables. Wrong copper. So how fast are we talking? Because you're in London, obviously it should be the best you can get.
So I mean, like literally where I used to live, it was like 4 megabytes per second download, and now it's like 140, which I know like that's like crazy to me. I think some people are talking about gigabytes.
140 megabytes when you run a speed test.
I did, yeah, when I was connecting my PlayStation, it said that. So that's crazy fast to me.
Yeah, that's good. Very good. Okay, so for those crazy people that well, I'm just going to quickly show you this. I don't want to brag, but this is in Spain. I'm clocking 300 meg down, although for some reason it's gone 39. But anyway, yeah, for those people that don't know who you are, can you give a little introduction?
Sure. So I graduated from uni in 2019 and sort of started like looking for a way to like, all right, I've got to sort myself out. And I've got to be a functional adult. I'm 22 years old. Then I'm like, all right, I've got to do something. The year before, I'd been in like you do a year in industry for some courses at uni, like in your third year out of four. And so I just on a whim gone to Paris and ended up at this place where I learned what SEO was because they had no idea really. They were just shocked that a page that wasn't the homepage could get more page views than the homepage. Because I was like, how, right? Because you go through the homepage. But alas, you can be discovered directly, organically.
Yeah.
And so like I'd failed with businesses like before, like I tried to launch a streetwear label that like had loads, they had like 16,000 on Instagram, did not translate into sales because it's Instagram. And I didn't do it right. We had just and so I wanted like, wait, like, how do we get this traffic now? And so all of these sort of things threaded together, and I was like, I really want to learn how to do this because I want traffic that can like, without having to like make stuff and images every day, that just comes in like passive income. And so I gave it a go. I'd also run out of money then because I wanted to start a project that was like a social enterprise that has the initials IF, which is where the IF in my name comes from. Ran out of money.
Okay, yeah, because there is a question from Marcus.
Money.
What does IF stand for?
When I get 100k followers on Twitter, I'll tell you.
There we go. Go follow Jamie on Twitter now. I think you'll find a link to his Twitter in the description below this video. Okay. How intriguing. But I'm also intrigued by the fact that you went to university and then you didn't immediately just go and seek employment, because I thought that was the whole idea of university. I never went myself, but you were supposed to come out and then move into some corporate job or something.
So I'd made a bit of money from Bitcoin during uni, and so I had enough to sort of sustain to try with like a moonshot type project. So I've been very lucky, like unfortunate with that.
Why did you have Bitcoin? For Silk Road?
I wish. I was too late for that. No, it was more like just like being at uni and just sort of being up until like 4 a.m. researching like dumb like whatever, like how can I make more money? And then we're like, oh yeah, buy Ethereum. And it was like 150 quid per thing then, and I think it's like 30 times that now, so it's all right.
Price of...
Oh, it's gone down. It's probably like 10 times that now. Anyways, good investments.
Okay, it's about, well, it's coming up with 1,600 euros, so that would be what, £1,500 for an Ethereum?
Yeah.
And you were buying it 150. Wow, those were the days, huh? So that gave you a little buffer. So there was no urgency to go and get a job.
I was like, I was looking for stuff to do, but it was like I just did not want, having done employment and like so when I was working in Paris, I was working at €3.75 an hour, and that was illegal because it was meant to be 3.85. And
yeah, that's below minimum wage.
It's only 10 cents. Well, they call it a convention de stage. You become a stagiaire, where like it's basically like a way to rip off young people, like in Europe, which is fun for them and not good for like the young people. No. So you get to work at like a criminally low amount over there. I'm not sure if it's just France or if it's like wider, but that's how it was. And so I was like,
it's similar in the UK with apprenticeships. They pay you way below.
Do they? Okay, fair. I thought it was just a France thing for a second. Fair. So like I wanted, and so also before I went to Paris, I'd got to like the last round of like a Deloitte, typical like capitalist consulting for big companies type of thing, and I didn't get it. And I think if I'd got it, like I think my life would have been like way different, and I'm glad that I didn't get it because it meant that like I had to go and do this myself. And so I gave myself like until Christmas of 2019 to see like some action on this. It was like, all right, it'll start running out of money. I got to go and do something and then balance it and save it and work the evenings.
Yeah.
And literally by Christmas, like it made like the main site that I still own made like 300 quid. But like 2 months before it was 70 quid. And so I was like, okay, there's something here.
There's
And
growth.
then over Christmas, it just ballooned. Yeah. And then so like by March, it made like what in the UK is considered like job replacement income. Then I was okay from then. So like it was
What, like a couple of grand?
like when you jump off the bridge. Yeah, it was $3,000. And so like it was like, like when you jump off the bridge, you're like, all right, I'm gonna try and like have enough so that I don't like I can parasail off so I don't fall into the water. It was like moderately close, but I managed it, and so I've been all right since then.
Wow. And what kind of money is that site bringing in now?
That one was like 22,000 last month in dollars, not pounds.
Wow.
It'll
Wow.
be less this month. It's been hit badly.
What, through Google algorithm updates?
It's a mix of helpful content updates, which I understand because we've let some older stuff get old, and we need to like upgrade it. Like we've paid a lot of attention to the affiliate posts and not as much to the info ones, and so the info ones bring the quality site wide down for sure. But also our host, I'm not going to call them out because we still have some sites on that host, but I will call them out and name and shame once we got them all off. They blocked some of Google's user agent IPs that were crawling the site, so we had 500 errors that just went zoom. Google Search
Wow.
Console
Why would
goes
they do
like
that?
5 clicks a day. Bounce.
That's a weird thing
I
for
would
them
love
to
to
do.
know,
You've got a decent host
but it's
now,
cost so
haven't you?
much money that it's. Well, we moved them over last week,
Okay.
but like I wasn't being organized enough with it, and so like they've been happening since basically the beginning of the year, and then so I'm pulling my hair out like, why is this happening when actually it was technical the whole time, and these guys have been messing us around.
Oh, God. Okay, here's a question from Paul. And by the way, people out there, do keep the questions coming in. I'll put them to Jamie as soon as they come in. How many articles do you need to earn that kind of money to earn? He said 40K, but even 20K a month on that site. How many articles are we talking about?
That site has 570 right now, but yeah. So I don't want to answer that question in a way that like it's like a blueprint. Just write 570 and you do this. Like I think we could have written thousands, but like we spent a lot of time. Like we honed into like what is this the articles on the site that could make $500-600 a month, and then we spent exponentially more time on those. And so like it's not about numbers, especially nowadays when you can crank out 1,000 articles in a day. Like the barriers to entry really aren't the same as what they were. We're all using AI tools now, right? Like,
yeah. So the emphasis there is really on quality, not quantity, and focus on, especially your money articles, and make sure that they're as good as possible. Now, you keep saying we. Who do you mean by we? Do you have writers, editors, that kind of thing?
Well, one full-time VA who helps format everything on WordPress, add source images. Like we've got a couple custom blocks for like feature snippets and other things like lists and like roundups and things. They add the blocks in for affiliate links and stuff. One person who spends 4 days a week on one of our sites, and then the others for any extra days that he wants to work. He has like a JV for one of our other sites that he has equity in, that like based on the revenue, if it makes like 5K a month, he earns that 50%. So then it's half and half of the project, like an earn-in sort of thing. And then a bunch of writers as well who help us a lot.
Are they full-time, or are they just kind of subcontractors?
So for a long time, it was just per word. But honestly, with like the GPT models, it just per word doesn't make sense, because like it's not about like the time it takes to be creative to come up with stuff now. It's the time taken to create something publishable, and that's basically like a meritocracy. So we switched it to just day rates and seen who can make the adjustment. Like mostly, like some people are still on per word because it hasn't been adjusted yet, but it's just hourly or day rate. So if you just let's say you get $200 a day, and then we can report on that and see if that works for ROI from us, because the model has really been crushed in the last few months by these tools that can do so much so quickly and without as much oversight.
And going back to the quality over quantity, you don't just want words, people filling out articles with fluff, as we say, just to get the word count up. So for that day rate, say a writer just delivered, I don't know, one article for that 200, would you, I guess, just gauge if you're getting a return on that by the quality of the article and how well it performs? How does that work?
Well, we know what we expect to get from the articles because we know our current RPM per category, and, per cluster within that category. So we can go, all right,
Yeah.
this on the ad side, we get 45 RPM. Is it an affiliate article? Yes, no. Therefore, we can calculate what we think we can get based on the earning per click from the other programs on there. So we know that this one article might be worth $75 a month. So if we're willing to spend 6 months on that and then the rest is profit, then if you write it in a day, then we've made a pretty decent profit. We've tripled our money. So it's mostly just like an expected value thing.
And the writers are okay with this kind of shift in payment scheme? Hang on. Let me just adjust my camera slightly. I was a little close. That's better. Yeah, so have they all adjusted okay?
Not everyone's moved over yet, just because there are some people that it just hasn't, we've been fine with the particular thing because they write different styles of articles. There's some nuance there, right? It doesn't, nothing really works one size fits all, which is why this stuff really doesn't scale well. I couldn't imagine trying to run 20 of these things with 20 different sets of writers and stuff. I'm just trying to go less and less. So not everyone's moved over, but the ones that did, okay, they were fine with it. I think if you're a writer that really cares about the product, then I think you prefer not being rushed, because the quality being super important allows you to produce your best work, I guess, without any other incentives to rush it quicker.
Okay, makes sense. Okay, a couple of questions here. We've got Theo. He says, Jamie, I would love to know about how the last year has been. What's your biggest success for 2022 and the biggest hiccup of 2022?
The biggest success was the second half of the year. The biggest hiccup was the first half of the year. So we lost money for the whole of the first half, and then we made it all back in the second. It was we were running the same cost the whole way through the year because we were paying all these people, and we weren't making money in it. So it was all right, can we ride out a $5,000 a month loss for a while? And eventually we did, and it came all right. But I don't want anyone to think, because I've made an income report, and I'm still doing it now anyway, because it feels a bit facetious, but and think, oh, this is all profit. It's really not. It's there's a lot of spending. A lot of the first 6 months is not counted in the profit and loss for the second half of the months because it was paid before. But it's a lot of cost that we were had.
Yeah, I think a lot of people don't realise that.
It was mostly also.
You do have to put a lot of money or time into these sites to get any kind of momentum going, and generally it's money if you haven't got the time, and it can be a bit scary, and sometimes it doesn't work.
Yeah. Yeah, we've had a lot of stuff where, for example, we paid £22,000 for a redirected age domain that had. So we bought it, didn't because it had that age domain, right? We bought it, it had a load of links, but that was a bonus. We bought it because it was existing still. It was a defunct e-commerce store, and it had 40,000 page views a month from the blog content that they just put on there. So we wanted that content. We thought we'd come in and we did a value judgment, and when £22,000 was 18 months of the revenue that we think we could get on the RPM to that. We redirected in, and I checked 6 months later, and that is getting 3,000 page views a month because everything's changed. The content that isn't that good is now not being sustained by our domain as it was on theirs, because I think ecom gets a boost over niche sites generally because they're a more real business and all that stuff. And so made a lot of mistakes, lost a lot of money, is what it is.
Well, you live and learn. I guess you won't do that again. Daniel asks, how do you work out the RPM per article? I think you just mentioned you look at, I guess, similar articles that you've got and see how they're performing.
Yeah, so let's say you've got a site on vacuums, carpet cleaners, and steam cleaners. You can look at the RPMs that you're getting across category. It will actually, surprisingly, depend a lot. I found even with the same niche, you can get sub niches that are markedly different. And you can check. I think all of them, Zoic, Ad, Thrive, MediaBind, all have pretty good analytics for this stuff, so that you can see on a category basis, especially if you've got hard silo URL structures where you can have site.com/steam cleaner, and then you can see the entire RPMs for those categories, which you can then base it on. Or if you want to go more granular, you can go by your steam cleaner informational articles, steam cleaner affiliate articles, or whatever, and then go from there.
So in terms of income, what would you say the split was between ads and affiliate?
It's now it's almost half ads because we've lost a lot of benefits. But before, a few months ago, it was 70% affiliate, 25% ads, 5% sponsorships, of which the Amazon was 22% of the total, I think.
Wow. Okay, that's pretty impressive. That's pretty impressive. It's because they don't pay out a lot, really. BVJ asks, how do you feel about the idea of using AI to produce a vast amount of useful content on an expired domain? I don't know. There's a slight oxymoron there, possibly between vast amount and useful content, but I'm sure maybe it can be done with the right editors and writers involved as well.
Yeah, I mean, if it's been human edited, then it's not really AI. It's a mix, right? It's a hybrid, and that is like that's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah, I guess I don't know if EJ is implying that you just churn out the AI content and just publish it straight without any tweaking, which I would highly advise against. But yeah, have you been playing with these tools? Do you
Um,
use them?
I've been using we used ChatGPT to do a variety of tasks now, but we don't have much going out on a live site that is like AI generated or like, for example, like we're adding um, new sections to some articles of which like we haven't done a good enough job at for the first paragraph in the H2 for each thing. We haven't done a good enough job at hitting the snippet for that paragraph, and so we're asking it to take things based on a set of words that are highlighted in the blue part of the feature snippet, along with what we think it should be, for it to write a snippetable thing, then giving that to the writer to fact check over to see if it can go in. But also like other things, like what is really good at ChatGPT rather than the AI writers is collating data into tables, which is like really laborious, like a long, annoying thing to do. And so if we've already collected all the main specs and bullet points in the articles, what we've been doing is going into the buy. This is an affiliate article, right? So it's like top 10 best. And then at the bottom, you've got the buying guide, which is like the main factors to consider when buying a vacuum. And then, so let's say you've got weight or size or speed or price. You can feed your entire article into ChatGPT and go, make me a table comparing all of the prices or speed or whatever, all of those, and it will spit you out the entire table, which just has that spec compared for all of them, and then you can add that to your buying guide section for each, so they can easily cross compare those things, and it saves masses of time compared to having like
That's
doing that
good.
manually. That's what it was.
Yeah, I think that's the angle, especially with tools like ChatGPT, that don't just use them for writing. Use them to help you put data together, or research, or I don't know, other collation exercises. I'm sure they're very good at. That's good. I guess you just have to kind of
Yeah.
play with the prompts a little bit. Okay, I've got some questions for you in a minute, but let's go to the crowd for a second. Remember to hit the like button. I will do a giveaway at the end of the stream for a bit of merch. But yeah, Marcus asks, how do you see the future for SEO/affiliate marketing in general? Now that we have AI, content creators, new search engines, the future, I mean, it's very hard to predict in tech, but how do you feel or think that it's going to go?
Informational queries will suffer the most. I predict that feature snippets will change. They won't necessarily be like you saw that demo from the Google search engine that basically like takes it all. I think that that will take longer and we'll have more pushback and maybe more regulation. But I do think opinions will matter more. I think feature snippets will be divided into at least two, maybe three opinions. So you get the left and right wing opinion of like, it's obviously not political, but like the opposite sides for everything, so that you can
Yeah,
quickly collate other people's stuff. So I think having a strong opinion, which is also what AI can't do, will be more important than ever, and having a strong, powerful opinion and being an expert will be more important than ever before. I think information, if people are going to be early adopters to AI in search, the Bing style thing,
yeah,
informational sort of long tail queries will suffer the most. I think that people won't move away from affiliate as much because I think people want to hear answers from people, and data collation, like comparing the specs against something, you can already do on Amazon, and it hasn't taken affiliate keywords so far. So I don't think it will do as much for that. Um, there's also stuff coming that, whenever you get, I don't know why people assumed that with the ability to write entire articles from scratch and publish them and claim the traffic from them with not much editing, that Google wouldn't use the same thing. They've scraped and stolen from people the entire time they've existed. Their business model is gradually to just own the internet. They feel entitled to the entirety of the internet. It's why there's no source. Tools is there. It's just I don't know why anyone's surprised.
Yeah,
But
they needed a bit of disruption. To
there
be
are some
fair,
good
Google.
things. They did. There's also a few good things though. The value with improved AI and data means that on a more granular level, you can now create more and more well-targeted posts. I'm mostly talking affiliate because informational is less likely to get traffic in the future. You can target things on a more and more granular level, more and more long tail queries quicker, and sort of expand your ability to write stuff. And also the data that's coming along, I can say because I'm on the inside, there's some stuff that's coming out in the next year that's gonna like double or triple the value of a page view. So while you might get less traffic, there's some stuff that's coming out soon that's gonna be insane and make each page view, if you can expand or maintain it, more valuable. So it's not all doom and gloom.
Are you able to give us any clue as to what this amazing income tripling thing might be? Is it
There's
to
just
do
a
with
lot more.
advertising?
No, not necessarily. It's more just like there's so much better control over data than there used to be, and that will only trend the way that you can control things on a much more granular level to absolutely optimize everything on every page without as much like painstaking human time going through everything and going, how can I make that sentence better? How can I get the best
Yeah. Okay.
affiliate
That
link
makes
here?
sense.
Like you'll be able to compare stuff easier and make better data-driven decisions.
Ah, okay, that makes sense. Okay, let's go to a few questions. First off, I've got a quick question. What do you say when someone you meet says, "What do you do then?"
I honestly, it always arouses suspicion. Like I was out on Saturday night in the club, we were in, like just chilling the smoking area. Like, oh, what you up to, man? I've defaulted to just, a bit of this, a bit of that. They just think
Just
you're
keep
just a
it vague.
dodgiest character.
That sounds like you're like a drug dealer or obviously international crime lord or something. Okay. But yeah, it's hard to, you could just say the internet stuff now or publisher. Publisher sounds quite normal.
Yeah, I sometimes say SEO, and that doesn't. It's still I just don't like.
Oh, then
I
they go,
think
well, can you help me
people
with my website then?
literally they do. Like I was at the barber getting my hair cut, and they were like, "Oh, can you do this?" And it was like local SEO, which I don't know a lot about. It's like I don't know how to.
Yeah.
I mean, I've done Google business profiles like once for my mum's physio clinic. I can't change your fortunes in an hour once you cut my hair.
Yeah. Well, I guess the next thing you say is, I don't have any clients. Unless you do have clients, I don't know. But you probably don't, do you? Do you have clients? Oh, you
No, we
do.
don't.
Speaking of clients, customers, there's something else that you're doing right now. It's like you've got a job. What's this new software and thing that you're doing?
Sure. So in November, and I'd spoken to Andrew, who's the founder of Lasso, just briefly in the past. He helped me when I pushed a new website in November, and it destroyed my traffic because the website theme pushes are always fun like that. And he
Yeah.
helped a lot. And so we were talking, and then in a few weeks later, he's like, "Oh, do you fancy headed up marketing for Lasso?" And so I thought about it, and originally I was like, "No," because I'm busy, I've got stuff doing.
Yeah.
And I thought it was just affiliate displays, which is cool. And I was a customer by then on all of my sites. We have like 6 on there now. But I was like, okay, yeah, it's a really cool thing. I'm a happy customer, but I just don't have the time right now. Then we jumped on a call and he told me about all the other stuff that was coming, of which one is one of the few things that's coming is now out, the performance affiliate, collation tracking tool, which is really cool. It's not
Yeah.
finished yet, but we're going to polish it. And from that point on, and hearing about some of the cool stuff and the revolutionary changes to affiliate marketing that I think it will bring, I was like, okay, fair play. Let's do it, man.
Yeah, it looks really good. I'm excited. I mean, I am going to do something on it, but most of my affiliate programs are with First Promoter, so I'm waiting for that integration.
Yeah, we're going to do it within hopefully the next week or two. I think early access is open, but it won't push all the data, so you won't be able to track it just yet. But you can connect by the API now, and it will be ready in 5-6 days.
Because Lasso, is Lasso or Lasso? Lasso?
I would say Lasso, but if you like Lasso is also fun.
Lasso. I have come across him in the past with fellow YouTuber and friend Matt Giovannici. I think he was involved with them for a while.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So don't worry for me. Okay, let's go to a few questions from the crowd. Though I did want to just quickly read this comment that I saw. When people ask me what I do, I tell them I create websites for myself. Then they get confused. They always ask, how can you do that without having any clients? Yeah, I love that line. That's a great. There was a guy here. I just met him. He was a bit of a. He was on holiday in Spain, bit of a wild boy. He was taking calls. You know, I've got to do the deal. Got to do this. Got to do that. Very important clients, and I was like, you need to move on from clients. Clients, they're going to take up a lot of your time. Ringing your phone when you're on the beach or you're trying to enjoy a beer. They're right paying clients. Anyway, which is why affiliate marketing and what we do is so great. No more clients. Clients is like having. Well, if you've got 10 clients, it's basically you've got 10 bosses. That's not good. How do you conduct keyword research? Asks Osas Amoregbi. I love your name. How do you conduct keyword research for your articles and how do you structure it? It's a nice question. Any tools or just Google, or how do you get your inspiration for articles?
So we did the entire year's keyword research in December. So we've got a backlog of hundreds of stuff now. So I'm not actively doing any keyword research now.
Okay. And how did you do that? Was there a tool?
Yeah, we used Ahrefs for it. We also
Ahrefs,
use
okay.
things that answer the public. We also use Lofi. We also use, is it keywords people use? One of those ones. And search response.
They all have different data sets, so they're all worth checking out, I guess.
Yeah. That's actually, well, mostly it's to find the actual seed keywords, it'll be mostly Ahrefs. And then to build from there and like put them together is using those other tools that find the questions associated with the main topic, what topic should go in what articles. So yeah, mostly Ahrefs and then clustering from the other ones and then like visualizing it all as a topical map in Airtable.
Airtable. Ooh, that sounds interesting. I haven't checked that one out. Okay, good answer. So you just do it at the beginning of the year and that's it done? That sounds...
Well, I was trying to be more organized rather than like desperately searching for a keyword to get the right. It's like I'm worried that they want to pay their bills and that. I find these 5 minutes keywords for them. So I thought I'm going to finally be ahead of the game and have it all organized and do that.
That is good. Yeah, I've had that problem before where my writers are just like, we need more keywords. I've run out. Oh dear, okay. You're working too fast. And I am not doing any keyword research right now. Okay, but is your niche seasonal then in any way? Or is it fine to do December keyword research? Nothing's going to really change. It's not topical or seasonal or anything like that.
We have some that are more seasonal than others, but generally they all, get more popular in Q4 for Christmas and stuff.
Yeah, okay. Consumer niche, I guess then. And talking of niche, Marcus asks, is it niche or, as our American friends say, niche?
I can't believe this is even a question. I hear some people, I'm like, come on, like, be serious now.
It's a French word, I'm sure it'll be niche.
Niche.
It's just the Americans. I've got a few American friends here. I'm just literally teaching them English every single day. There's words they don't understand, phrases they don't get. It's just, geez, what have they done to the language? No offense to all my
ruined it.
viewers. They call it English version too, but I think it's like taking it back to beta or something. I don't know. Yeah. Any plan, again, talking of your sites, I believe you keep all of your portfolio secret, yes?
Yeah.
But Imran asked, any plan of starting a case study site like what Alex done?
I'm in two minds, right? I was talking with Brandon, who is the founder of Retro Dodo recently. Super intelligent guy. Really impressed with what he's done. He crushed it.
Oh, yeah, that's a good site, isn't it?
It's a fantastic site. I think it's one of the best. It's a great example for what a brand niche site can be built into.
Yeah.
He obviously built in public, and I was talking to him, and I ended up not realizing that I felt this way until I said it to him, but I was like, actually, you know what? I think I've changed my mind a bit on the build in public thing, because you can already like spin up a site in little to no time. And if we're going to assume that things are going to keep advancing the way they've advanced before, and GPT-5 is going to be 3-4 times as good, and it's going to come out in 8 months' time, like, what is my competitive advantage except a brand? Is the keyword research and the content itself valuable now, or is it just a commodity? And so isn't the only thing that makes the difference is like the trust and making sure that it's come from a real person, of which isn't the only way to get ahead of this to make sure that I'm the sort of Mockingjay figurehead of these sites. And so I was thinking that maybe I should move more into those categories and be more public and all this, but I haven't done that yet. And I've also seen the other end, which is I saw your recent video where you were frustrated that people had gone and done what
Yeah.
people do when they find out you've got a site and mess about with it. So,
They they copy it, and now there's probably, I mean, because you're quite high profile on Twitter, there's people that will, do negative SEO and other stuff just to, I don't know why.
people have already come in since, like, this is one of the reasons that I regret. Not, I don't regret it overall, but a unfortunate collateral piece of damage is both the big two niches I'm in have got more competitive since I got in, and I'm 99% sure that it is from people that we can all find each other's sites. We all know how to. It's just whether you want to. There's not that much protection. It's literally just to send it to a JSON file, and people have found them and started getting into those niches as well. But you can't really protect against everyone.
No, no. Shame people haven't got any originality, but hey, bless them. Okay, what is your advice for us starting out a product review site? A product review site in 2023, that's an interesting proposition.
A broad reviewing everything site or a niche site that contains product reviews. I wouldn't recommend anything broad now. I think that the way to do it is to make a category your own. Every broad site I see is bleeding, even if they're excellent. I mean, except Wirecard, but like everyone else is bleeding, even though I don't think they should be losing traffic for some of them. I think some of them do really excellent stuff. An example being like tooltester.com, that is fantastic. And I like want to steal their top nav because it's so good. But they, according to Ahrefs, they're bleeding traffic. It's the best top nav on any website ever. It literally like is the best. And everyone should go on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, go on the top nav.
Wow, I like it.
Yeah. And they do excellent reviews. And if you look at Ahrefs, they've been losing traffic. I found out about the site from Glenn also, Viper Chill's case study on it. And so credit to him for covering that. And when I saw that they were losing traffic, I was like, why is a site like this losing traffic? And it's because it's general. Sorry, I've gone on a tangent. I think you need to, unless you're Wirecard and you've got the New York Times as domain backing you up, you need to sort of tunnel more down, and you can still do product reviews, but you need to be the niche expert. So if you're going to be the vacuum person, be the vacuum person. Ideally, even be like the robot vacuum person.
Yeah, and you've got to buy all those products, and you've got to thoroughly test them. You've probably got to be doing YouTube and all sorts of things. You've got to be doing. You can't just be cobbling together some Amazon reviews like back in the old days. You've really got to raise the bar, and
Yeah.
there's probably easier ways to make money online than a product review site, I'd have thought, nowadays. I've got a few more questions. The questions are coming in, but yeah, keep going. We'll go for now, so that's another 20 minutes or so. How is it not niche, lol, says, and we're not going to go down that one. Well, as Helen says, it's a French word, not German. It's not niche, it's niche. Let's have a quick one here from Thiago. Sorry if this was already asked, but how many websites does he run to make over 40K?
So we have like 10 plus, but most of them are abandoned, or at least like we realized that we can make more money on the others, so it just doesn't make sense to spend that time on them. The lion's share is in like 99.5% of the revenue comes from the top 4 or 5. And 90% comes from the top 3.
Okay.
And it's only going to trend that way more because maybe if you're talented enough, you can, but I'm not talented enough to make all of them work to what is now required for like for how it's trending with quality and the management of like the amount of content to build a brand or build more of a brand. And so I'm looking to slim it down and focus on the least possible projects because it's not easy as it was. You can't just outsource and be all good with it now. It's got to be carefully, meticulously done. And if you're going to do these things properly and try and build a brand, you can't have no one build multiple brands unless you're Elon Musk. Like you got to just be your person and do 1 or 2 sites, I think.
Yeah,
but I don't recommend doing what I did. Yeah.
Focus. Okay, let's rattle through some questions to get through these. Should I write content on some branded keywords on a website?
Branded as in like ranking for like
for
the
certain brand names. Depends if you like legal threats, I guess. You have to be really careful when you're putting any brand names and trying to rank for them. There's probably easier long tail keywords to go for that are more generic, I would have thought.
Well, I mean, arguably, like a product review is a branded keyword, but you've got to rank for the reviewer rather than the head term. I doubt you'll do that, unless I mean, Google's trying to show some like opinions on these things now, but mostly it's not, you shouldn't expect to. It's a big bonus win if you do rank for any seed term for the review. Um, you like there are some people that will rank for like brand discount code. I don't know how long that's going to last for. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't think some people are ranking for like celebrity names for like net worth and stuff. That's another close example. But the rest of it, like for you're not going to rank for like Logitech.
Just on its own, yeah.
Then
It's not going to happen. Theo asks, Jamie, I watched your income reports and you often mention how important it is to update your older articles. Do you do many articles? With the month or year as a keyword in the title? I see. Yeah. So like best vacuum cleaners for hard floors 2023 or something, or May 2023. I don't know.
all of our affiliate posts have 2023 in them. For very, very competitive ones, like think the seed term like best steam cleaner will also dynamically insert the month in. I have no data to suggest that is better or worse, but it can, where like everything else is so optimized in the SERP and everyone's got FAQ schema, everyone's got the perfect title, whenever else any chance to like do something else. When we have to, we'll try and do stuff like that.
So do you have to go back through
Yeah.
and update them every year, or does there some automated thing you have? Find and replace, I guess.
You can, but if you do find a replace and you've written like something like in an informational article about like a certain date that something happened, it will also replace that.
Oh, yeah,
So
that'll screw it up. Yeah.
we've been using the dynamic current year in rank math to do that. But there's a bit of a controversy because they're saying that it's like lying if you update it automatically when you haven't actually like updated the article, and there's a bit of like John Muller I think was saying that like you shouldn't do it, but I've seen no evidence that it doesn't work. I think
And
that's
will
just
Google actually know that, okay, this is the 2024 version, but it's exactly the same as the 2023 version? Something's not right.
yeah, I don't know, but I'm doing it anyway.
Yeah. Just quickly, Noel asks, can you explain how to build out a content cluster with examples? So let's keep it short. What would you say to that?
I'm also not the best at this. There are people who are better than me.
Okay, I'll give you an example, Noel, on this. So I recently did this on Best Corn Popper, the popcorn website. So one of the articles that I was trying to rank for, which was stupid actually because it's in the dog niche or the pet niche, which is ridiculously hard. For some reason I chose for it. So is popcorn bad for dogs? It's a very highly searched term. Obviously someone drops some popcorn on a term on the floor, the dog eats it and then they start panicking. So what we then did was build out popcorn and dog related content and then linked back to the is popcorn bad for dogs. So we added, why do dogs' feet smell like popcorn? Can dogs eat cheddar popcorn? Can dogs have salty popcorn? Can dogs have smart food popcorn? There's loads of different very niche, very specific dog and popcorn related things. So that is then a very specific cluster with interlinks between those, with most of the links pointing to the main article, which is popcorn bad for dogs? Have I got that right, would you say?
Yeah, it's like a set to me it's like a set of articles and like pieces that form like your entire subtopic in one go, and the way that you can interlink them to show that you are within that area like the most relevant.
Yeah.
There's an amazing course on it. I'm not sponsored or anything. I just think it's the topical map course that I think is a good reference point if anyone's interested in doing that.
Go and check the real experts on that, I would. Jill asks, which is a good one, how do you prioritize tasks and manage time? And what productivity app do you use, if any? I heard you mention Airtable, which you have already, yeah. Anything else? And how do you prioritize what to be done in a day, on a morning? How do you set it out?
So Airtable we use for so we first like when we create the topical map we do like each thing that the article falls in. So if you've got a steam cleaner that's by what's it, Miele? I don't know. I don't actually own a steam cleaner. I just always use it as an example. There's like a vacuum company, and so that will fall into best steam cleaners and the brand. And so those are all the different classes within it. Those get put into different bits in Google Sheets, and then we import that into Airtable so that you can then find all of the references of articles that feature the Miele brand name or whatever, and then like a VA can then go in to link those better without it being too manual. So like I don't use Airtable for productivity, like in terms of time saving. It's more just a good way to visualize like clusters and topics and stuff like that.
Okay.
For saving time, we use Trello still to manage all content, which is good, but we're starting to grow out of it a little bit because it's not good for like managing lots of content. I think there are other things like Asana and ClickUp or Monday or whatever that probably do that better. I haven't had a look yet. What else? We use Loom to save time with like video SOPs. We use Scribe pages to host those Looms in case there's multiple Looms in one page, to have them as like a landing page with multiple steps. I think that's it.
Okay. Sounds like you probably spend quite a lot every month on tools. They soon add up, but they all look so useful, don't they? Mark
There's
says,
some bloat in there.
yeah, sorry to sound dumb, but what do you but do you mean they do negative keyword? No, I was talking about earlier when you build in public. It's called negative SEO. So I'm not sure how effective it is nowadays, but there was a point where people would try and sabotage your site by building a whole load of terrible links from horrible spammy pages to your page, so that Google would think that you were trying to do some SEO badly, and then you'd get a penalty or even a manual penalty. So that was what negative SEO is. I don't know how much clout it has anymore. It seems that Google tend to, if they see a lot of bad links coming in, just kind of disregard them anyway. So I don't know, because it did become definitely a thing. Quickly, just on the tools, if there was free SEO, if you could only choose free tools, you've been through a whole list of tools. He has said SEO tools, but which would they be if you could only have free?
There's a free version of Lofi, which is still really good.
Yeah.
You can type stuff into Google, like you can just do A, B, C.
Oh,
D,
sorry,
E,
I think it's the way I said three. If you could only choose three tools, what would they be?
Oh, sorry, I said free. Sorry. I'd take Ahrefs, Surfer, ChatGPT.
Okay, perfect. Does changing the title of your blog help or hurt rankings? I.e., you had the 12 best grills to buy, and then you change it to the 16 best grills to buy now.
Numbers, I would say don't worry too much about those. Because in my opinion, if I see more numbers for a post, it means that the writer doesn't know enough about the topic to just reduce it down to the three that really make a difference for each customer segment. But you can 100% influence click-through rate with better titles. For example, if you're doing cheap, you can basically win every single time by just going cheap, whatever, that actually work or that are reliable, because the worry is like, I want something, but I want it to work. Like I want it to be okay.
Yeah.
But alternatives posts, every single time, just go budget alternatives that actually work, because when people type alternatives, they want something, but they don't want to pay for it. So it's
They
just,
don't want
that's the
anything
worry.
too crappy, yeah. Okay,
So
that's good
like
little tip, yeah.
you can definitely like gain clicks by understanding the sort of worry or pain point behind it and just going for that.
Yeah, and obviously CTR is a very important metric, because higher CTR means more clicks, and it could also have a positive effect on your overall ranking as well. I'm sure it's a ranking factor, CTR. Okay, do you promote products that have a recurring commission?
On increasing, like my actual site was the only one I like written. So we got the odd Tweet Hunter recurring commission, like accidentally, but on my, like, I'm not in any like software niches on my
Yeah, which is
site.
where
It's
that
mostly
recurring
physical
stuff
product.
is.
Yeah, so I wish I was, because it'd be quite nice to know what I'm getting paid each month, but I've not done it.
No, next time. Well, you definitely could, because you're becoming a bit of an authority in this space, and there's lots of products that, some of which you've already mentioned. Though Ahrefs doesn't have an affiliate program, but I'm pretty sure Surfer does. ChatGPT doesn't, but there's other tools that do, and most of them do pay on a monthly. This one is from Hassan. Jamie, what is your info versus commercial content ratio? Is there such a ratio, or is there some kind of target you stick to, or does it just...
Okay, firstly, I don't care how many people say there's a ratio. There's no ratio. It doesn't exist.
No.
If you're worried that you've written posts that aren't ranking, it's more likely that you're convincing yourself it's not a content problem when it's a content problem. That being said, if we're going to talk like topical authority, then 100%, if you are only doing product post, are you likely to be the most expert person? Maybe if you really show you know your stuff on the actual product reviews. But for me, I don't mind making a loss writing a post that doesn't have too much traffic because it connects everything and makes me look like an expert so that I can make more money on the others. You can see some things as like gunpowder that fire off the ones that can make the big money. And so I wouldn't not write info just because, I don't want to spend another $200 on that article when I can just write affiliate posts that make more. Because I think that people should take a more like holistic view to it and think like, all right, how can I write these ones that show that I am the guy? And now I can print money off the competitive ones that I couldn't
Yeah.
really do well off before.
It all makes perfect sense, yeah. Write informational stuff that gives you the credibility and authority that you need to back up your more product, commercial focused ones. And Phil agrees with you on that the ratio is just a myth. Okay, for the last couple of minutes, I just got a couple of other questions, more abstract questions, I guess. So money's obviously coming in pretty well. What on earth are you doing with it all? You're a young guy, live heady. I wish I'd have got into this game at your age for sure. What are the plans? Are you blowing it on Lambos and all that kind of stuff, or are you investing? What are you doing?
No, I'm too scared I'm gonna lose it all. If I sell up, then I'll start going mad. But like for the moment, I'm not going to. Like I spend, when we're out with the boys on the Friday night, it's obviously like I'll buy the drinks for everyone. I'm fortunate that like I earn more than them right now. They're just starting their careers. But I don't think I spend more than the average like employed person, to be honest. It's just sitting there.
So you're popping Cristal and stuff in the club, that kind of thing.
Not quite that either. Like
You'll buy him a
you
pint
know,
of lager.
I'll bring like the Glen's vodka to the pre-drinks.
Yeah,
the cheap Smirnoff ones as well because they're not worth the no joke. Okay. But like
yeah.
I'm not going too mental with it. Yeah, I'm scared I'm going to lose it all. It's going to go wrong. If I do get an exit, ever if I the right offer comes along, I decide to sell the main sites. Then I'll go, all right, cool. I'm probably okay now. I can spend 2, 3, 4 grand a month, and I'll probably be all right. But like with it being so volatile now, and us getting hit so badly on Google traffic, Bing traffic is still sustaining us, and we're lucky that we rank on Bing for stuff. But having seen how you can go down 80% from a technical issue, or assuming that you could have the same thing from content, I had built this image in my head that I was worth, and it was pretty guaranteed I was worth XYZ. And now you can see it can be taken away so quickly that really it's non-existent. It's just invisible monopoly money until it's in your bank account. And so I don't see myself as rich or like making money or whatever. So I'm not gonna. I don't want to get too crazy until it's solidified.
But the new place, did you buy that, or is that rented or a mortgage, or?
No. No. I wish I want to get these assets, but it's not realistic.
Okay, and you said you go out with your friends. Obviously, you're still young guys out on the town, and you said that they have started their careers. So it sounds like they maybe left uni and did follow the path that they were supposed to take and get into some corporation or something like that. How do they feel about what you're doing? Have they said to you, "What are you doing, and how can I do it?"
No, I've tried to encourage a few people. Like, I've got a few software developer friends that go on the nights out with us a lot, and I'm like, you know what programmatic SEO is? Like, trying to be like, you have the power to create something pretty cool here, like a web app that does a lot of cool programmatic stuff. And I just don't think that. I think that like, if you're a type of person that wants to go it alone and do your entrepreneurial thing, I think that you and I can't imagine that way of thinking because we just think completely differently. And so like a lot of people just don't, and I think it's better, to be honest. There's nothing more nice than knowing you're getting paid every month and there's stability there. So I don't like hold it against them or or like in any way condescendingly, but I just don't think it interests them to do these other side projects because I can get paid 3 grand a month being a software developer, entry level React developer in London. So they're not that interested. They're not that interested.
It's so bizarre. But of course, I mean, the security that they have of the monthly paycheck is, of course, but an illusion because then they could turn up on Monday morning and the boss could call them in the office and go, we've lost that big client. We're going to have to let some people go. I'm sorry, that's it. Suddenly, they're not as safe as they thought. But yeah, that is so bizarre. I mean, so many people having a drink with them or whatever, and they ask me what I do, and I say this, and I show people how to do it as well, and anyone could do it if you've got an internet, broadband, and you've got a laptop, and this is basically what you do, and they go, oh, right, okay. Like you're literally showing them the way to go, to change their life, and they go, oh, you've always got so much time and whatever. I go, yeah, I do have time. Time is my most valuable asset. That's why I do this, because I want time. I don't want to do a 9 to 5. I don't want to give the best part of my week to help someone else get rich. Why on earth would I? But yeah, you explain all this and they still would rather take the job. As you say, they're probably just thinking different, and that's fine. And it's no, I don't want to put anyone down. Obviously, sometimes I feel a little sad that, especially people with young children, which is kind of the age I am, we're at children age, and they work so hard for a job that they don't get to see their children. And I think that is just scandalous, really. But anyway, let's start wrapping this up. Carl has just dropped in. Carl will get some of that. Carl's in Dubai. His spending habits are similar to yours, Jamie. He's out. He's popping Lambos and drinking.
I'm sure your costs are a bit higher than mine.
Yeah. Quick one from Hassan. Should we publish pages or posts when posting on a programmatic SEO site even? I don't know what that question means.
Like the page or post type on WordPress, I assume they go up as posts, but I'm not into programmatic, so I wouldn't have any. There might be other ways to do it. Maybe you've got like big categories of locations or whatever that you're ranking for that are pages. I don't know. That's an interesting one. I'm trying to do my first programmatic thing like in the next couple of months. I'm interested in that, but I have no idea. I have no advice. And
it sounds way techie. Yeah, you need some techie guys on that. What percentage of good SEO is reliable or relies, I guess, on backlinks when it comes to ranking? We haven't touched on backlinks. Let's just quickly touch it. Do you think backlinks are important? And if so, how on earth do you get them? And how have you built some in the past? Apart from spending that enormous amount of money on an old domain.
I think they're extremely important, and they're going to get more important in not even like the next 5 years, in the next like 2 months. They're going to get more important. I think they've already been, since February, I think they've been more important. Like that's what I've noticed from like obviously a small amount of data, but I think it's more and more important. Because as content becomes more of a commodity, how do you differentiate between the reputation of that quality's author and site and host and whatever?
Yeah.
So I think backlinks will become even more important. Not just like guest posts and stuff though. I think things like the digital PR style stuff will age better and is less likely to go from being fine to not fine. And so I think it's going to be about like how many trusted outlets have you been in and referenced from and things like that, and like niche specific things.
I mean, yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, everyone recently has been talking about EAT or E8, you know, the expertise, authority, and trust. But of course, as you said, Google has been measuring your authority and your trust and your reputation, which is the great word which I always used to use when I was selling SEO. And the only way that Google can really measure your reputation is from what other people are doing to you, what other people are linking to you, because each one of those links is a vote of confidence towards your site. So I don't think EAT can be done really on page by adding some author bios and a picture and saying that you've got a PhD and whatever. Your authority and your reputation and your EAT comes from your links. So yeah, links are important. You mentioned that PR is a great way of doing it. So Harrow, I'm guessing, is one of those things, but trying to get in front of newspapers and established websites and trying to get featured and all that kind of stuff. All right, well, we've practically come to the end here. Let's just quickly skim through the last few things. I used to work with a lot of developers and always found that they prefer to switch off at the end of the day. That is true. I mean, the problem with us is that we are always at work, but then also never at work. It's a kind of weird paradox. We seem to have a lot of time, but our mind is always racing about whatever the next project is or whatever we're working on. And yeah, we can't just go home and just go, I'm not thinking about that anymore. Doesn't work like that. Entrepreneur mindset, it legit not for everyone. Many people just don't like it. I also get the call into the office on Monday morning. That's for something else though, Bradbury, isn't it? That's what you did at the party on Friday night. Hey Theo, just edited your video. Oh yeah, because I think Theo was on having a chat with Carl. We look forward to that. Yeah, Carl agrees with that. So for the very last, nice little compliment from the underground marketer, the US and in the USA, and appreciate the insight from both of you. Okay, last one from Jill. Jamie, do you write yourself or do work on the sites, or do you spend more time managing employees? That's interesting. So yeah, is your typical day you cranking out content and working on your sites, logging into WordPress, or is it just logging into your productivity apps and making sure everyone is doing what they're supposed to be doing?
So what it's trending more and more towards is like checking like a piece of work, thinking about what bits could be done differently, and then tweaking the SOP and sending everyone that new SOP and being like, this is now how we're writing intros this a little bit differently, record a loom video to go along with that and treat that. Like, this is only recent though, like for like 95% of my time in this, like I've been so disorganized and done things so badly and like not been like, because it's not fun. I like being doing stuff. Like just being like grinding out SOPs and like systems and stuff. Like I've never been a depth person. I've been a good like do it person. I've been a technician but not a manager. So like what I do now is like starting to get to better, but like I've been bad at this for like ever. At the moment, so it's like I'll check things, give feedback to the writer based on what I think could be done differently. Mostly like check performance of stuff and try and figure out like why something isn't doing as well. But at the moment, because we've been hit by a lot of these Google things, we're mostly just like systematically going through every article and like rewriting the intros for all of them to be like more of a quicker answer and things like that. So it's like checking the 7 that were done overnight, noticing any patterns, and then deciding if we need to do things slightly different or teach like how we like coach on that based on that. But do barely any writing at the moment, which is sad because I enjoyed it a lot. But it's just not the play now.
Okay, well, thanks very much for all the questions, Joseph. Thanks for the answers. Let's do a quick giveaway. If you would like to win, I'm going to say some merch because that's all I've got to give away tonight. Let's do it now. Just say something in the chat right now. You've got literally 20 seconds. I'm going to do a transition and bring up the Wheel of Names, and then we will do this. Thank you, Chris. It gives me hope that when you say you're disorganized and you got those great results. Yeah, that's always reassuring. All right, let's transition to get the Wheel of Names. Okay, let's get Jamie in a little circle there. There we are. Look at that. I've been using this software for nearly 2 years. I finally, I think, figured out how to stream without messing it up. I've got to say, my new apartment is definitely helping. It's much better broadband and much more room and just better all around. Okay. Everyone's saying something. You want to hear more sound effects? All right. What would you like? I've got this. Right, let's go. 10 more seconds. Let's see who we got in the participants. Okay, loads of people now. A lot of you, I think, were sitting there quietly just listening, which is fine. Great interview, and you're a lovely person, very down to earth. Thanks for your advice, Jamie. I think maybe, have you got a YouTube yet?
Yeah, but I only did like.
Oh, you have? Yeah, I've linked to it.
Those, like I'm not active on it.
Yeah, you could. I think you've got a lot to share, so you should. Of course, it takes a lot of time making videos and stuff.
Yeah,
the live streams is a bit easier. No editing or anything, just do it in one hit. Or if you look at someone like Miles, you know Miles Beckler? He's got quite a big YouTube channel. He does all of his in one take.
Yeah, but he's talented like that. He's got that ability to just freestyle like the most like articulate stuff. I'm not like that. I get like stuck on my words. I need to have it.
You'd have to edit it out. Yeah. Same as me. Yeah. All right, I've got all your names. Here we go. Let's do this. I'm always doxing myself, Bradbury. You know that. Okay. Everyone's in. Let's go. This is for some merch. It's exciting. Justin, please, you do this every week. You're not in there because you didn't say anything, Justin. Anyway, didn't you win the other week anyway? I think it's going to be, is it Malcolm or is it March Meadow? It's March Meadow. March, drop me an email to eagle@wpeagle.com and I'll sort you out some merch. Obviously, let me know your address and your size. If it's some clothing, you can find all the merch on wpeagle.com. But yeah, let's wrap up. We'll wrap up together, Jamie. You can stay with me. Let's transition. Okay, I think it's quite sad that we're at the end. There we go. So you're going to be in York in only a few weeks now, isn't it? Looking forward to affiliate gathering, yeah?
I'm very much looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to meeting everyone who I haven't met before. I'm looking forward to seeing the people I have met before, like I've met Carl before in London recently. Should be a good bit of banter. Hopefully learn a lot and speak to very clever people that and have a good time. I look forward to seeing
Exactly. That's the best thing about it, just having a drink with someone and sharing thoughts, experiences, stories, tales. You never know who you're going to meet and what you're going to learn. Now, I believe you've got a ticket to my Fringe event on the Thursday evening. Is that correct?
Yep, I'll be there. I look forward to it.
So if any of you guys want to hang out with myself and Jamie and everyone else that's going to be at the Fringe event, lots of cool eaglers there. It's wpeagle.com/fringe to get your ticket. There is only literally 3 or 4 left. So if you want one, you need to get it now. The price includes all the beer and food you can drink within reason. So yeah, that's it. Good. Well, thank you very much for joining me. You'll find links to Jamie's Twitter and his newsletter, which is fantastic as well. Do join that. And yeah, he's on YouTube, but not very active. But yeah, I think Twitter is probably the best place to experience you.
Thank you for the mentions. If anyone wants to follow me on all those things, then that would be great. And cheers, everyone.
Yeah. Good. Carl says Jamie can drink me under the table. I was a lightweight in London. Well, I was surprised that you were drinking at all, Carl, because I thought you'd become teetotal. But yeah, don't try drinking with the young guys. It's a young man sport, drinking. We know that. Good. There was something I wanted to... Oh yeah, I know what I wanted to say. I thought I had a question, but actually it's a statement. This will be the last Tuesday stream because I'm going to move them to a Wednesday, which I think is when I used to do them a long time ago. They used to be on a Wednesday. It's my daughter's swimming lessons on Tuesday, and it's just too stressful me taking her swimming and then trying to get back and get everything ready in time and wash her hair. I mean, have you ever washed a 6-year-old girl's hair and then tried to comb it? Oh my God, it's not a thing that can be done quickly or without screaming and tears. So yeah, I'm going to move it to Wednesday. So I do have some other guests scheduled, but I'll move them along. But other than that, thank you, Jamie, and I look forward to seeing you, meeting you in the flesh in York in a few weeks.
Yeah, I look forward to seeing you, and thank you for everyone who tuned in also, and I hope it was useful. And yeah, I look forward to seeing everyone else as well who's going to turn up who hasn't bought their ticket yet. I'm sure that it'll be a good time in York, and York's a lovely town. Good bit of holiday.
It is. It's a good historic city of ye olde England. So yeah, I'm looking forward to come back to England for that. Checked into my flight today, so we're all good.
Nice.
All right, Jamie. Well, thanks for joining me. When you let me drop me an email, we should probably catch up offline sometime just to have a chat. But if not before York, I'll see you then. All right, thank you everybody, and not same time next week, Wednesday next week. But obviously, make sure you're subscribed and you'll get notifications. All right, see you later.